Hello, my name is Nathan Gould, and this is the third in a series of videos about grouping and sorting data in our LAC queries. So in the first video, we looked at some of the tools available to us within the query wizard itself that allowed us to sort data, split it out into files, or set a default range. Then in the second video, we looked at some other places where we can set our default range and how we can use ranges in different parts of the report. And in today's video, we're going to look at some functionality called the group by functionality. So that is sort of fundamentally changing the way that the query works by saying now, rather than displaying a big long list, we're going to display some attributes of the data. So let's go into finance and operations and have a look at that. So we're in finance and operations now. This is my customer list report. So we'll run it again just to get a baseline. And we can see this is what we're expecting, a random list of customers, groups, and account numbers. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and set it up so that rather than giving ourselves a big long list, we're going to answer a question about the data. So I want to know how many accounts are there in each one of those account groups, or customer groups even. So we're going to go into Setup and back into our query wizard, go to Next and Next again, and we're going to select our query, and we're going to tick Group By to Yes. Now, because we only have the one data source in this report, this query wizard, we're going to apply Group By to everything. But you could do this just to a subquery as part of a bigger report as well. So we're going to set that to Group By equals Yes. Then we're going to go to Next. And for this, I don't need my rec ID. I don't need my name. And I'm going to leave these as they are because I want to group by my customer group. And then when I've done that, I want to count the number of account numbers that there are in each one of those. So let's click Finish and run this report and see what comes out. So here we can see we've got a slightly different output than we've seen before. So rather than having a list that we've ordered, we've actually used our data to answer a question. So I can see I've got 14 accounts in group 10, 16 in group 30, and one in each of the other two accounts. So we find this functionality is really useful for doing things like building catalogs, working in production reports or shipping reports, where you might want to know how many of a certain product are in a container of a certain type, something like that. So that's the group by functionality with the count and the group by. The only other thing that I want to show is our custom functionality. So if we go into Setup, Query Wizard again, and we go down to our fields, can show that rather than just having this group by and count functionality, we also have lots of other functions that we can use, including this custom function, which allows you to run custom SQL code as well. So that's the final bit of functionality that I wanted to show in these videos. The group by functionality, which allows us to, rather than just reorganize the data in a list, actually use a tool to answer a question with the query.